So it's another good time to have you again on a brand new episode of my podcast, The Bakers of Logic with Oluwaduro to me. And for those that have listened to my previous episode, I really appreciate you guys. And I'm sorry for always starving you of content and not always consistent. But I promise from now on, it's gonna be a different thing entirely. So I welcome you to another new episode. And today we'll be talking about another interesting topic and another uh, things of life which we always talk about most of the time. And there was one time in my life where I was actually sitting and I was having a conversation with an elderly person, and we were talking about the issues of life. We were talking about time whereby you ought to do some things when you don't mean to do them, just for you to save the day. So as we are talking about, I said even in leadership, in family, in whatever you want to think of, you still need to do these things. And he said sometimes you just have to do what is necessary and not what is right. And sometimes you want to do what is right and not what is necessary. So I heard that and I hold that to my heart. So I've been thinking about it. I've been pondering more on it, and I've been reading more about it. What could actually make someone not do what is right, and what could actually make someone to do what is necessary, you know? And I was like, I need to share this with my listeners and to share this with my audience and to share this logical reasoning, because it's always talking about decision making. And in our previous episode we'll be talking about decision making, how our decisions in life actually has its own consequences, that for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Definitely if you are doing something, you know that you have the consequences of what you have done. So this is what we is all about, decision making. And I think in our previous episode where we talk about choices and decisions, where we talk about if actually our free will are actually free, then I think we came to a conclusion that even the free will is not even free, because it comes with a cost. So even this one too is actually pertaining to it. So when you're actually saying, yeah, it's a free will for you to do what is necessary and it's a free will for you to do what is right. So what does it actually means, doing what is necessary and doing what is right? So that's what we'll be talking about today in this episode. And bringing them side by side, doing what is right, doing what is necessary. What does it actually means? What does it really means if you are doing what is necessary? What does it really means if you are doing what is right? And what is guided by those choices and decisions? In life we are often faced and we find ourselves with dilemmas, whereby we must weigh our decisions and our choices in between doing what is necessary and then doing what is right. These two concepts, they are always aligned, always going intertwining, going hand in hand, whereby you are just stuck in that middle of, should I do this thing or should I just wait for it to pass? You're always in that situation where but you need to make that crucial decision at that moment. So what will you do? When you are saying doing what is necessary, these two concepts are different. So why doing what is right? That doing what is right is always guided, and we know it's guided by moral principles and ethical considerations. Knowing that, okay, this thing is not right according to my belief. This is not right according to where I'm from. This is not right according to the the Bible, according to the Quran, according to my religion. You're always saying, oh yeah, this is not right. That's what not doing what is right. That is guided by moral principles, is guided by ethical consideration. But doing what is necessary is always driven by practicality. It's not always about, yeah, according to my religion. It's not always about, yeah, according to my culture. It's not always about according to what I believed in. It's always about the practicality, what it ought to be done, things that are supposed to be done at that moment. Because sometimes doing what is necessary could save the day. for you and not doing what is right. Sometimes doing what is right might just send you packing and send you back, while doing what is necessary might save the day for you. And doing what is right, if it's guided by moral principle, you should also know that doing what is necessary is guided by practicality, and you need to find some kind of to achieve a kind of certain outcome at that moment. And the complexity and the application of these two approaches may want you to find a balance and want you to find a middle ground that will lead you to more effective decision making. When you are saying I need to go for doing what is necessary, you know that you are doing something that might require a necessary outcome at that moment, something of practicality, something that you need to just think. You just need to just do it at that moment. You just need to just forget about whatever outcome is going to come, and you just think about the end result at that moment when you are doing it and wanting to get that result at that moment. But doing what is right might might want you to reconsider that decision. So how do you now find the middle ground on how to make this effective decision making? But there are advantages, and there are importance of doing what is right, and there are importance of doing what is necessary. In doing what is right, there is this a fundamental aspect of our ethical framework and moral compasses where it involves aligning our actions, aligning our principles, such as when you are saying your principle about honesty, when you're saying integrity matters, that you won't want to lay down your integrity, that you still need to uphold your integrity, and you want to talk about fairness. When you're saying yes, you don't want to be biased, you just want to be fair in all situations. But sometimes the fairness does not actually means you not being good to another person. It's you being too good to yourself, being fair to yourself. And that is what we call doing what is necessary. But doing what is right, actually you want to put those things in consideration. You want to look at the honesty. Am I honest about this issue? Did I have this certain level of integrity? My integrity matter most, and sometimes you just want to be fair. You just want to be legitimate. You just want everything to be on a neutral ground. But when you are faced with a dilemma, doing what is right may often means you just want to stick to the value, stick to that value and act in the way that promise integrity, and it promotes integrity and equality for all. But it may require you sacrificing some personal gains and some conveniency for a greater goal. Sometimes when you are saying, yeah, there is this thing I don't want to do it. It's not right. Let's imagine that you were found in a situation where everybody around you are doing what is necessary at that moment. Maybe doing what is necessary is then actually inflicting a price that is not all to be, and it's a necessary thing because the hardship is hitting at everybody. And you know that on a normal note, inflicting these things will actually, it will have a greater gain on you, but will have an adverse effect on other people. you know you don't want to do that. You don't want to be, you just want to be different, but everything around you is telling you do it, do it, do it. Sometimes you just want to let go of the gain, knowing that if you should inflict it, you will get more money, you'll be able to have an hedge, and you will have this financial stability. But at the end of the day, you will now feel like, I don't want to do that. You feel like I want to let go of the gain, but I just want to uphold my integrity. That's what it means doing what is right. And sometimes you may find yourself in a situation, maybe in your workplace, whereby you notice some fraudulent activities, or maybe in the course of you doing something, you notice some people has been stealing from the company or stealing from the office. On the moral compasses, you know that it is right for you to go report them, and you reporting them may want to make you look like the bad guy. Being the good guy, want to play the good guy, may actually bring you to turn to a bad guy. Like, is it only you that see this? Why don't you just keep quiet and do your work and go home? Why would you want to? You might want to raise some kind of eyebrows against you because just want to be exceptional, you just want to be good, because doing what is right sometimes it is not convenient as it ought to be. But if you are sticking to doing what is right, you know that you need to sacrifice some personal gain, you will need to sacrifice your convenience, you will need to sacrifice some things that will actually give you a greater edge and a greater that will give you a better life. You know, those are the things you just want to let go just because you want to stick to that moral compass of doing what is right. And on the other hand, when doing what is necessary might be driven by practical considerations, you know, it's necessary for you to do that. It's necessary, you know, when let's say in a situation where you are the head of a company and the situation warrants you for you to make a certain decision, and on the normal note, according to the guidelines and the principle of the company, no decision is made outside the board. You know, when you are saying every decision that will be made concerning that company must be from the board, and the board comprises of so many people, but you are faced in a situation where you don't need to go back to the board, you don't need to relay the issue, you just want to make that decision, because time does not actually allow you to take those issues to deliberate on it, for you to come out with for you to come up with something that is that for you to come up with a solution, you get. But at the end of the day, you just find yourself that you just need to make this thing, you just need to do what is necessary by making that and giving that decree at that moment. Even if you will go back to the board and apologize, you still need to do what is necessary, because at that moment it warrants you to do what is necessary and not what is right. If you are to do what is right and following the necessary guidelines and principles, you will still need to take some time, go back to the board, deliberate on it. While you are deliberating on it, you know that things are actually going south. And when things are actually going south, there might be a repercussion about that. You know, those are the things. You know, and every time we are faced, we humans, as we go on in our daily activities, as we go on living life, we are always faced, and we are always faced with this decision making. We are always struck, and we are always stuck in that middle of doing what is right or doing what is necessary. And how do we find a striking balance? How do we find just a neutral middle ground for us to just to do what is right and even in doing what is necessary? Sometimes, you know, in many situations, these two concepts they want to overlap. One is overlapping another, and you are just faced with, what should I do? What should I do? You know, you're always every time you're always faced with that. You know, you wanting to get a job, you've seen that people are actually lying their way in getting a job, and you don't just want to stay true, and you are seeing that you staying true is not even bringing you greater result, and it's not bringing you greater gain, and you're like, should I go for it, or should I stick by my moral things? And we always stuck in that middle of a thing. You know, striking a balance will require a careful considerations of the potential consequences and a thorough evaluations of the available options. You know, when you're actually saying it, like the example I made earlier, imagine the head of a board making a decision without actually consulting the other board members. You know, there are consequences for it. Either he's being sanctioned, or he actually vindicates himself by telling them the actual reason he have to do that. And if the other board see reasons on why he has to do that without bringing it to them, then he might be free. But there are consequences, so you have to weigh up. You have to look and evaluate the consequences, the potential consequences, and you have to evaluate the available options. In a situation where people are always saying, I am using what I have, using what I have to get what I want. You know, people make this kind of analogy always. You are using what you have to get what you want, and you're like, I have no other options. You don't have to blame me. You don't have to do this. I just have to do what I have to do. I was in a situation where I don't even know where to go to. I was in a situation where I don't have any other means. I just have to just do what I did. So don't blame me for doing what I did. Yeah, nobody's blaming you. Being the fact that, and if you are owning up to the consequences, say everybody will say yes, right, it's cool, you've done that, it is you, it is. But how about how about the coming and the adverse effect of these things? Are you still gonna own up to it? So when you are looking at the available options and looking at the consequences, that is one of the ways you could navigate this option, either by considering a long-term implication of your actions, or you just want to just stick to the short-term implication of your actions. While doing what is necessary, it might provide a short-term benefit. Sometimes it might actually give you a longer benefit. It's all in the consequences of what actually happened after making those decisions. It might give you a short-term benefit, and sometimes it might give you a long-term benefit. And it is essential for you to also assess whether these actions align with our long-term values and our long-term goals. I'll still go back to the example I made earlier. If the head of the board says that yes, these things will actually bring us great benefits, or if it's dealing with an investment, maybe they need to invest a certain amount of money into something, and without the decision of the board, there won't be any go ahead. So he sees that there are potential gain at that moment, that if I should put a certain amount of investment into this thing, and within time it will actually yield back and it will benefit every one of us in the company. So he looks at it and he sees that yes, it aligns to the long-term values and it aligns to the long-term goals of the company. So he decided to just do it at that moment, and without even consulting the board. And he knows that at the end of the day, he will still need to go back and explain himself. Yeah, still he weighs those consequences and he weighs those available options. So sometimes we just want to check if doing what is necessary might necessarily be aligned to our goals and aligned to our long-term values. So it is crucial for us to avoid compromising our integrity and sacrificing our principle for temporary gains. Sometimes it's always, you might want to check it, like, sacrificing my integrity, does it worth it for this thing? Does it worth it for this goal? For this worth it for this short-term benefit? Sometimes there's always saying that a good name is a good name is better than silver or gold. But people just make joke of it and say, give me the silver and gold and take the good name. But nevertheless, you still don't want to joke with your brand. You still don't want to joke with your integrity. So sometimes integrity is what gives you most of these things in life. You might say yes, I care less and I don't want to know about integrity, but there are still some things where it is your integrity and your name that will open the door. Because when you get to some certain things and people say that you've lost your integrity for a short-term benefit, there may be lack of trust, and people may look like, if you can do this, and you can still do more of this. So, but sometimes when you say that if you can just forego some benefit because of your integrity, I think you can still take up some things from us. You know, it happens whereby our consequences, our actions in the past may come back in the present to come and stand as a major, as a we want to stand as a major influence and say yes, based on this, based on that, I may want to move on and I may want to be of benefit to you at the present. Furthermore, engaging in an open dialogue and seeking multiple perspective can even help you find a middle ground by considering different viewpoints and engaging in constructive decisions. This goes when you have some confidence and you have somebody that is ahead of you, and you know that these people, they've seen these things, they've been there before. These people have understood how these things goes, and they want you to be part, and they don't want you to fail, and they don't want you to pass through what you have done. So you might just want to have an open discussion to them and just say, hello, please, can you just come and help me? I'm faced with this certain dilemma. I'm faced in this. What should I do? So you having a constructive discussion, having a different kind of a viewpoint can make you gain a broader understanding on the situation and exploring alternative situations that incorporate both practicality and ethical considerations. When you've sent someone to talk to someone that you know that yes, they've done it before and they may want to put you in the right position. They may want to lead you in the way to go. So you know how to balance it, even in view of practicality and in view of ethical considerations. So you may want to seek for advice, seek for counsel from other people. And some cases it might be a necessary challenge that you might want to challenge the status quo and question wherever the existing norms may want to be, because sometimes practicality are truly necessary and you just want to forego the ethical consideration or whatsoever. And sometimes we often know that innovation and progress sometimes arises from individuals who dare to challenge the conventional thinkings and to explore new possibilities other than doing the norms, other than saying, yes, this is the right way for us, this is the right thing we've been doing for the past several years, and this is what we need to do. Sometimes we just want to question the status quo and said, no, let's do it this way and let us see if it will give us a different result. And when you're exploring a new way other than the conventional thinking and other checking for other new possibility, you might want to attain greatness and may want to attain progress. By doing so, we may redefine what is necessary and strive for solutions that are both effective and ethical. You may want to redefine your definition of doing what is necessary. And I will want to conclude and say about this that the tension between doing what is necessary and doing what is right is an ongoing challenge that we will still face and we will still face as time goes on. But sometimes you just want to just find a middle ground. We just want to find a balance between these two decisions, and putting in view and putting in considerations the possible gain, putting in considerations long time possible and available options, putting in considerations long time and short time benefits, making everything come in consideration before making this decision. However, finding a balance between these two decisions is very crucial for effective decision making. It's very, very crucial. And I tell you, we will still face this and we will continue we've faced it in the past, we will still face it in times to come. So it's a thing when you just need to just come to realization. Until you've come to realization now, you know that yes, I think I need to do what is necessary at this moment. I think I need to do what is right at this moment. So considering the long-term implication, engaging in an open dialogue, and challenging the status quo, we can navigate the dilemma and make choices that align with our values while also achieving practical outcomes. And it's also through this delicate balance that we can contribute to a more ethical society while addressing the practicality challenges that arises in our daily lives. So we might want to put all this in considerations, put everything in consideration by having an open dialogue, engaging people and making them know that, see, I'm faced with this, I want to do this, I want to do that, what do you think about it? When seeking for counsel, you might have an eye-opening decision making, and you're like, yes, I think I shouldn't have done it, I think I'll need to do this way. And you will enjoy your decision making. And in decision making, just like I said in my previous episodes, yeah, like every action, at least it has a way, it equal and opposite reaction. So every decisions always has its own consequences. So we just have to own up to our consequences and be ready for it. If our long-term benefits align with our short-time practicality, I think it will be necessary for us to actually do what is necessary. But if it's like I wouldn't want to give up my integrity, I wouldn't want to give up my value, I wouldn't want to give up all the things that I've built for several years on my brand for this short-time benefits, I think it would be right for us to do what is right. Bringing these two things together and trying to look at it from a different angle. And let me know what you think. Let me know what your view of these things are in the comment sections. Well, thank you for listening, and I hope you look forward to the next episode that is coming. And I promise you, I'll be giving you more and more episode back to back, and it will be an interesting one. Yeah, thank you. But make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you follow. Make sure you just subscribe everywhere you see this. Just make sure you show your support, and make sure you show that those these are the things that makes us want to do more, and I really appreciate them. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.